Headbanger's Ball.
Cut off from the outside
What
world
the fuck is this?
and from other caves.
You know, there's some caves that...
This isolation has
Is this the
resulted
log
in
U?
the evolution of some very strange creatures.
Yeah, is this long U? Oh, no, they're just going to show the creature.
They are the
Dude,
cave
there's
specialists,
labyrinths in
troglobites, animals that never
are
emerge from the
unbelievable.
caves or see daylight.
I don't really want to talk about it, but, you know. Here, give me a drink, dude. 8 hours and 12 minutes? God damn, dude.
These troglobites from Thailand are possibly the most specialized creatures on Earth, for they live only
Believe
in
me,
cave
there's a lot.
waterfalls.
Hey, hold on. Dude, did you see or hear about what they discovered underneath the pyramids at Giza? I you know, I'm not surprised by it. Look, you know, the I don't want to talk about this, dude. I start talking about this whatever that. Let's just put it this way. Never mind. Just play it. I don't want whatever that is coming after me. Is what I'm saying.
The entire population of these cave angelfish seems to be restricted to just two small.
No, dude. What they found was underneath the pyramids at Giza, there are structures that are underneath the sand that are something that was created, you know, underneath the pyramids at Giza that go down like, what is it, like 1,000 feet or 2,000 feet? And, you know, a lot of the Greek mythology, a lot of the old shit that comes from, you know, even Samaria, you know, they talk about giants and titans and, you know, even the Egyptians themselves talk about giants. And why are they telling this now? They knew what was under there. You know, like, oh, there's a lot of, why are they telling us now? Because something's about to happen. So that's why we got all this weird chaos going on. So Godspeed.
Caves.
Here, give me a drink.
It's the same story with other troglobites. There may well be less than 100 Texas cave salamanders in the wild.
What? Texas?
And the Belizean white crab is another creature that is unique to just one cave system.
I know caves are, dude.
Living in perpetual darkness.
Look, there are worlds that are around us that we can see, like, and can't see. And, man, I don't really want to tell this to you, because if I tell a lot of this stuff to you, it's like, in spirituality, let me put it to you like this. In spirituality, you can't just hand feed people shit. Because when you do, they'll interpret it as something that is way different than you're trying to tell them in the shortcut realm that could corrupt them and it could corrupt... Anyway, I just play this shit.
They have all not only lost the pigment in their skin,
never mind,
but
dude.
also their eyes.
Give me a
It
smoke.
takes thousands of generations for eyes to be lost, so these species must have been isolated for a very long time. But the blind salamander has other highly developed sensory organs.
By the way.
Receptors in the skin detect minute movements in the water made by its prey.
Nature.
External gills help it to breathe in
man.
water that is particularly low in oxygen.
I don't want to do esoteric stuff, dude. It scares people. People don't understand it. And
The
you know,
cave angelfish
when you tell them
feed
shit,
on
they'll end
bacteria
up like
in the
Elvis Head.
fast-flowing water,
You know,
keeping
I
their
feel
grip
bad for
with
Elvis
microscopic hooks on their fins.
I'll tell you in a minute. Hold on. Let me wait till after this. I'll tell you why.
Food is often in short supply, and troglobites
I really
like the
shouldn't
crab
talk about this,
have to
dude.
survive on whatever washes into the cave from outside.
And look at that crab. Look, even though cockroaches
Salamander
of
might not
the sea,
encounter
like
food for several
crabs
months.
and lobsters,
So when something
that's what
does
they are.
come
They're
along,
crab. They're like
it can't
cockroaches
afford to
in the
miss
sea.
it.
They taste delicious. And you notice that
It's astonishing that these extraordinary cave dwellers
when you
managed
give-
to survive at
or
all.
whatever out there is eating natural shit, it's like the most healthiest. You know, a thing that I like to eat is calamari. And you don't have to fry calamari, believe it or not. You can like slice it up, and you can put it in kebab. I mean, there's a bunch of ways you can taste and eat it, but there's a lot of healthy shit in squid. All right. Anyway, let me hide this choice. Look, I know there's a lot of people that want me to talk about esoteric stuff, but let me explain why I can't take you from point A to point B in a fast capacity. Because human beings have to believe things. And the only way that human beings believe things if they naturally stumble upon them. I mean, somebody can direct them. It's like the Wizard of Oz. Hey, look, here's the yellow brick road. I mean, but you can't necessarily like tell them like, look, this is this is that, because you're trying to, in my opinion, bypass the magician of time. Let's see what Turtlehead has in store for us. Hold on. Oh, no. The Tulpa effect.
Around 2011 to 2014,
No!
extremely interesting phenomena occurred. My Little Pony, Friendship
Oh,
is
no.
Magic fandoms formed online communities calling themselves Tulpamancers.
I've
on
made
forums on Reddit,
jokes about this.
Tumblr, and
Now, I have made jokes about this, all right? Now, I know there's a lot of people that want to go into the Thunderdome. I mean, dude, there's a lot of freaked out shit that has happened in the Thunderdome. One of which, we had a brony. I'm not going to name their name, okay? But this brony actually did this Tulpa shit where they would create these like physical manifestations to try to summon their pony into real life. And it was real sick shit.
4chan. The obvious question is, what the fuck are Tulpamancers? And why are these My Little Pony enthusiasts practicing an ancient form of Tibetan mysticism?
Oh.
What is a tulpa? And how was the Tibetan vehicle of enlightenment, the mind mastering the illusion,
No, I know. Look,
co-opted?
no, I know the guy that's narrating this sounds like a tard, but at least he's an awoken tard. You know what I mean? He sounds like, I used to be like I like My Little Pony, but I don't understand why I like My Little Pony, and now I understand now. But the scary shit that's being summoned in tulpas and mind control and
into a psychological weapon, the system mastering the will.
Yeah.
Why is it when magical principles become systematized, they become inverted and used as a tool for
he knows
control?
he knows what he's talking
Well,
about.
That last question may be obvious to a lot of you, but let's get into it.
He knows what he's
How is
talking
an
about.
ancient spiritual practice digitized and distorted?
Wow. No
In
shit.
the My Little Pony
Whoever the hell's narrating this, I mean, they're definitely going esoteric on things. And Kurt Johnson, Mrs. Ghost is a tulpa. All right. We're not going to watch all 42 minutes, but let's get into it here, all right?
universe, a tulpa was often described as an imaginary friend who is able to think and feel for themselves. To me, that sounds awfully similar to an MK Ultra altar. But tulpas have a much more positive connotation and are created intentionally, not through trauma. Because the show emphasized friendship and distinct personalities, fans found its characters easy to visualize and to interact with in meditation or journaling. Some wrote that they were making a pony tulpa. There was numerous guides explaining the exact steps in order to create your own tulpa. In this context, a tulpa can almost be seen as a thought experiment where the practitioners would practice mental conversations or visualizations of a chosen character.
We actually had bronies in the Thunderdome that did this.
But let's be clear, in these forums, creating a tulpa meant three main creation tactics. The first being visualization practice, where the person would imagine a form, voice, and personality for their character. 2 was dialoguing, where the practitioner would speak internally with the imagined figure to build realism. Lastly, a narrative reinforcement, where the practitioner would write stories or artwork to stabilize the personality. On a good day, a psychologist would maybe interpret this as structured imaginative play or a form of self-dialogue, not the birth of an external thought entity. On a bad day,
even though this tard sounds, doesn't sound articulate and that sort of thing, he is actually, kind of exposing a little bit of what magic is, just a tad. He's approaching it. So all you esoteric fans, listen up here, because this tard knows what he's talking about here.
Be diagnosed as a form of self-induced schizophrenia. But in these communities, they would act as if this was a totally autonomous being. But the fact remains, the pony tulpas may have felt vivid, even real, but the tulpa always remained a product of internal cognition. The purpose of a tulpa differs greatly from person to person. Some are kink tulpas, some claim to have sex and even marry their tulpas. Now what in the name of mental illness is going on here? And why
Part
is My
1,
Little Pony
My Little
used
Pony
as the template?
Now, I don't know what this guy's going to talk about, but I always thought it was very strange why everybody had this fixation on the My Little Pony cartoon, and particularly males that were not necessarily the age group in which this cartoon was meant for. And aside from it being like, somewhat of a novelty, I mean, many of these folks to this day immerse themselves in this cartoon. Now, aside from this cartoon, this also applies to anime. This also applies to VTubers. This also applies to all this shit. You see, this is where we get meme magic. A lot of meme magic happens on this show. And the reason is because we centralize our thought processes to a certain idea. We're all mentally focused on one thing. And through our collective mental focus, things all of a sudden begin to manifest into reality. And that's why, this show in particular has a lot of meme magic that correlates with it because of the collective mental process that creates, most of the time it's very benign type meme magic, but still.
This selection was not an accident of random internet chaos. It was a strategically perfect, albeit likely, emergent choice.
You got to rate. Hold on, Ghost is a diabetic bitch. We got to finish Turtlehead's video here.
The show, in its fandom, provided the ideal petri dish for several precise psychological and memetic reasons.
Memetic.
First, the show offered a pre-packaged archetypical system. Each main character embodies a simplified, hyper-saturated virtue. Kindness, loyalty,
very good,
laughter, generosity, honesty.
It's just friendship. It's just friendship is magic, Ghost.
These are not complex personalities.
It's just friendship.
They are psychological primaries, making them incredibly easy to visualize and internalize. For someone attempting to project the thought form, a brightly colored, one-note archetype is far easier to stabilize than a nuanced, realistic person. The characters function as mental Lego bricks. simple,
Mental
interoperable,
Lego
and
bricks.
designed for imaginative play. This lowered the barrier to entry, allowing even those with minimal meditation experience to engage in the practice. When hundreds of others came to hear their Rainbow Dash Tulpa offering advice, the individual's own hallucinatory experiences gain credibility.
Uh-oh.
The community normalizes this bizarre behavior,
They're
turning
listening
a potentially alarming
to Pinkie Pie.
psychological event into a shared
I can see
hobby.
Pinkie Pie.
But the most
I'm
critical
talking
factor
to her.
was the demographic targeting. The show, despite its outward
Here,
appearance,
give me a drink.
attracted
Oh,
a
you know what? Give me a
significant
smoke. Better
audience
yet.
of older teens and adults, particularly males, a group often grappling with social isolation, neurodivergence,
Yeah, you
or a
think?
sense of alienation
You think?
from mainstream culture. This demographic is characterized by a powerful hunger. for
Jack is okay.
belonging,
Furries are
clear
10
social
times more
rules, and
tolerable than a
meaningful
Venice Beach
connection,
street performer
which
like
the
you.
show's theme of
Kick him out,
friendship
dude.
powerfully
Don't
promised.
call me a Venice
They were, in
Beach
essence,
street performer,
highly
you piece of
suggestible
shit.
in seeking an anchor. By offering a framework for creating a perfect,
God, man.
loyal, understanding friend who could never reject them, Tuplamancy tapped directly into this
Tuplamancy?
vulnerability. It weaponized their loneliness. The practice gave them a
Weaponizing
sense
loneliness.
of control and special knowledge, a secret
God.
mastery over reality that compensated for their lack of control in the social world. The innocent, non-threatening aesthetic of the ponies served as the perfect Trojan horse. It disarmed skepticism and prevented external observers from recognizing the profound psychological operation underway.
I
Parents
agree.
or outsiders saw
I,
a cartoon horse,
I could say
while
that
participants were
My Little
engaging
Pony
in
is a
ritual
psychological
that
operation.
fragmented their consciousness.
Yeah.
My Little Pony provided the ideal triad for
There is-
mimetic
he's
incubation.
advertising his
simple
Patreon.
archetypes for easy implantation, a supportive
This guy sounds like a
community
young
for
Elvis
belief
head.
reinforcement, and a targeted, vulnerable demographic ripe for suggestion. It was the perfect cultural catalyst to translate an ancient practice of masterful illusion into a modern tool.
Astral projection, astral traveling. Now, this is where you take yourself, into another dimension through your mind and through breathing practices and shit like that. I don't want to get too far into it because, people ask me, Ghost, why don't you talk more about esoteric philosophy? And the reason I don't is because you have to understand that there is a belief. There's a belief that comes with all the shit that's being explained. And you have to understand what belief means. Belief doesn't mean that, okay, I'm going to believe it today. No, you got to truly believe it. You got to believe it like you're going to wake up tomorrow and see the sunrise. You got to believe it like, tomorrow you're going to wake up and everybody's going to oblige all the street signs and the street lights. You understand? Once you understand that type of belief, that's when you can start entertaining these esoteric knowledge. Because if you go into it half-cocked and you start summoning shit and you start doing a lot of this shit that you could, because you can summon shit. You could do something that could potentially fuck your shit up and potentially kill you, in my opinion.
Of passive disassociation, and the online
me a
anonymity allowed people to share such experiences freely, so practices spread mimetically.
Get to rating.
This
We're
may
going to get to
sound
rating
similar
graffiti in a minute,
to an
rando.
egregore or chaos magic servitor, so let's quickly break down the differences before revealing the intended purpose of a tulpa. Tulpas, egregores, and servitors are all forms of artificial psychic life. They are thought
Artificial
forms or
psychic
mental
life.
beings born from focused thought, belief, and ritualized imagination. But they differ in scale, autonomy, and intent. A servitor is created by an individual magician. It is limited, task-oriented. Servitors perform a specific function, like an AI agent, a bot, or a digital assistant,
or a spirit that wants to fuck with something in this dimension. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to be very wary, all right, when it comes to spirits that you think that you're seeing. Okay, and especially ones that you think that you're seeing that they're old relatives or loved ones that died. Okay, because that is the prime grounds for whatever deity, entity, demon, whatever you want to reference to be able to enter it into your life and use you as a conduit to do whatever nefarious things to you or to other people. And Wizard of Text Chat, I believe you'll do a radio graffiti. All right, thanks. All right,
A
great.
Roomba vacuum, a self-autonomous vacuum. A tulpa is created through sustained visualization and emotional energy. These are semi-autonomous. Tulpas act as a companion or manifestation, similar to an AI companion or virtual avatar. Some say they are an imaginary friend for adults. An egregore is created by a group.
That's not an
or a
imaginary
culture.
friend.
It is fully emergent, a collective tulpa. An egregore is created to embody or direct a group mind, like a meme, a fandom, political movement, or viral ideology. So in short, a servitor is a program. A tulpa is a persona. An egregore is a network. All three operate under the law of attention. Energy flows where focus goes.
That's a very good point. I mean, whoever the hell's narrating this is saying, you know, how you could communicate with shit and think that, you know, it's your buddy, it's your tulpa pony, it's your fucking relative.
But they differ in scale and feedback structure.
Give me a drink.
But truly, the My Little Pony phenomena is best understood as the creation of a pre-programmed servitor disguised as a tulpa. In chaos magic, a servitor is created by defining its purpose. This is its statement of intent and embedding it into a sigil, a symbolic battery. The exact visual, design, color scheme, and cutie mark of a pony like Twilight Sparkle
Cutie
is
mark?
that sigil. It's a pre-made
Sigils.
symbolic
Sigils are symbol magic. All right, magic through symbols.
packet encoding specific traits: intelligence, curiosity, a desire for order. The practitioner doesn't invent the form.
I mean, these are the cutie marks. Now, believe it or not, this lightning and there should be like an arrow going downward. That's the Satanic Army symbol. Marilyn Manson carries it around rather prevalently. You've got diamonds. You've got what looks like sperm. You've got the apple, the butterfly. These are all, you know, symbolic, esoteric symbols. You got the sun. All right. You've got, look at the star. I mean, come on,
They
man.
download it. This is magic for the masses. Low effort, high fidelity implantation. The charging mechanism is the parasocial interaction. The chaos magician would charge a sigil with gnosis, a focused release of psychic energy, often through arousal, fatigue, or intense focus. And this
Didn't I just mention about why a lot of meme magic happens on this show? It's our collective directional focus in which we have a lot of shit that all of a sudden manifests in this reality. You people that have been listening to me for years, you know what I'm talking about.
digital variant. The gnosis is the emotional charge of parasocial interaction. The hours spent writing dialogue, creating art, enforcing interaction with a mental image are a sustained, low-grade Gnostic state. The energy isn't just attention, it's emotional investment, which is a far more potent fuel. True chaos magic at its best is a pragmatic tool for causing change in accordance with will.
This is a very true statement, man. I mean, whoever the hell this is, I
The
mean,
practitioner uses the servitor, then dissolves it to reclaim the energy. The Pony Tulpa practice inverts this. The goal becomes sustaining the entity, nurturing its autonomy. This creates a permanent energy leak from the practitioner to the servitor, binding the creator to the creation. It's a form of magical codependency where the user is farmed by their own thought form. A tulpa is not evil by nature, it's a mirror, but if left unattended, it can become an autonomous reflection of its creator's shadow.
Not just autonomous reflection, it is a fucking demon or some shit that you probably can't even imagine. Anyway, thank you, Turtlehead, dude. We're getting a little too esoteric here, and I guess a lot of bronies here are pissed off that this is fucking slander and all that crap. And look, speaking of bronies, Bob Tom, remember when you drew a pony back in 2017, Dad? Your sigil was a shekel. Anyway, why are you talking about old shit, all right? Why are you talking about old shit? All right, look, let me get to a few more donos, and then we're going to get to Radio Graffiti because everybody's now, fucking, I want to hear Radio Graffiti. Anyway, before we get to another video, I want to say cheers to everybody out there for hanging out with us on a Taco Tuesday. The only reason I'm drinking so early, and I've only been on here for an hour and 47, and I'm already fucking buzzed. How many beers have I had? I've already had 4 beers and 3 shots, all right? Geno X 1987, when you die, there's nothing, just like before you were born. No God. Well, if you believe that, then why the fuck are we here, right? I mean, why the fuck do you even exist? If we're nothing, then why the fuck are you even thinking? Why are you even listening to this broadcast? You can't explain that. There is no explanation. The only explanation is that we're here for some reason, and that when we die, we're obviously going to go somewhere else. Okay? Now, wherever the hell we go, who the hell knows? All right? I have no idea. And, if you want my opinion, I think that's why we're rapidly descending into chaos. It's because the folks... It's like Star Wars, all right? It's like I think I've told you this before. It's like Star Wars, the original one. The other ones after the original are bad. But remember that scene where, you know what? Let's play it. Let me play it. I've played this before. Believe it or not, there's more realism to that than you can even imagine. You have no faith is the one. Yes. Darth Vader. You have no faith. Now, I'm not trying to relate this to movies, but believe it or not, movies incept ideas. And that's why whenever something happens to us, we're conditioned to it. We're conditioned to it. Here, oh, shit, that's loud. All right, put the PC shot on. Take a look at this scene. I'll play this. Now, that's the Death Star. The Death Star is an artificial created... Terra Firma type of under this context. Remember, there's a lot of that's the thing about sci-fi. What makes sci-fi so alluring is the fact that there's some realistic ties. It's not completely like dumbass like My Little Pony or anime. I mean, there's some like this could be possible. And what the Death Star is, it's a merging, okay, of science, like the scientific motherfuckers, like the guys that understand how to create in the scientific, realistic realm, merging with those that master the spiritual realm. That's what this shit is. It's the merging of that creates energy to the point where you can... I mean, in this instance, it's fictional, but you can recreate time. You can recreate worlds. Play this. I'm sorry. Give me a drink.
Until this battle station is fully operational, we are vulnerable. The Rebel Alliance is too well equipped. They're more dangerous than you realize.
Dangerous to your Starfleet, Commander, not to this battle.
By the way, you notice that they're still talking like foreign policy, but intergalactic policy. That's how it's always going to be, fucking peace-loving utopian.
The rebellion will continue to gain us support in the Imperial Senate.
The Imperial Senate will no longer be of any concern to us. I have just received word that the Emperor has dissolved the Council permanently. The last remnants of the old Republic have been swept away.
Kind of sounds like what's happening now. I'm joking.
That's impossible. How will the Emperor maintain control without the bureaucracy?
The regional governors now have direct control over their territories.
The regional governors have now direct control over their territories.
Fear will keep the local systems in line.
Fear will keep the local systems in line. I mean, I try to tell you, motherfuckers, you're just like, yay, spaghetti.
Fear of this battle station.
And what of the rebellion? If the rebels have obtained a complete technical readout of this station, it is possible, however unlikely, that they might find a weakness and exploit it.
The plans you refer to will soon be back in our hands.
Any attack made by the rebels against this station would be a useless gesture, no matter what technical data they've obtained.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed.
Don't be too proud of this technological terror you constructed. By the way, you notice that Darth Vader had a Hitler, or at least in fucking German Hitler Nazi helmet on, and he talked through a pyramid with 3 points. I'm just saying.
The ability to destroy a planet is insignificant next to the power of the Force.
The
Don't try
Force.
to frighten us with your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader. Your sad devotion to that ancient religion has not helped you conjure up the stolen data tapes.
Believe it or not, right here, believe it or not, you can't just conjure something up and do things, in the movie. Supposedly Darth Vader is supposed to be the sorcerer, he knows, and he can be able to conjure up shit at will. You can conjure shit up. I know that idiot fucking Sticks Hexon Hammer, tries to say, I did this, I did that, and I had this person killed because of magic. Dude, if he would have done it beforehand and then it happened, then maybe they would believe him. That's how this operates. All right? And how does it operate? You have to have the ability to persuade enough people. It's all about belief. Our minds, your minds, the pawns on the chessboard, the minds of people, if you can direct them in their mental capacity, if you can direct them with enough energy to think about something, or to not want somebody on the planet, or to want a chain of events to happen, if you have enough of them, you can make it happen, dude. That's political science. Anyway, play this.
Or given you clairvoyance enough to find the rebels' hidden fort.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Enough of this. Vader, release him.
As you wish.
This bickering is pointless. Now, Lord Vader will provide us with the location of the rebel fortress by the time this station is operational. We will then crush the rebellion with one swift stroke.
Now, you notice that the king of the scientists, or not the king, but the head of the science, have to have faith in in Darth Vader. It's kind of like Trump and Musk. That this is how fucking whatever we are, this is how this works. It's a fucking joke. Hey, play it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Play this shit. Give me a drink. Oh, it's done. All right, it's done. All right, never mind. All right, dude. I think I'm fucking done with this fucking show. I've been on here for 8.5 hours. All right?
I'd buy that for $1.
Hold on. What did you say? Knee or Y or whatever the fuck? Put the PC shot on. Now we have AI, which has already conditioned us to not even believe what we see or hear. Knee, you're getting it, dude. And on a certain level, we also fear AI, but we can't do anything about it.
For $1.
Oh, fuck you, Bob Tom. We can't do anything about it. The wool has been pulled over our eyes. Nee, listen to me. Now that... do y'all remember about 3 or 4 years ago? It's on Vaughn, by the way. You go on Vaughn. I said that AI would change our reality. Remember that show? AI will change our reality. This was right after a new year. I think it was right after COVID. They started introducing this shit. And I'm telling you, man, it's not only changed our reality, I think that somebody or I don't know, some people or entity, whatever you want to believe, is playing a time game with us. Because now that AI is rapidly facilitating research, and they're just telling us. If you look on Ghost Stop Report in the science section, which is on the first column in the second block, there's been so much shit. You know that they've created liquid metal? You know that they've created like just and they're just, this is just shit they're telling us. I mean, how the fuck, do you know what CERN is? And even if you did, do you know what it's doing? Do you know, there's so much shit going on. That's why everything is just out of control. It's the story of Atlantis. If you read about the story of Atlantis, the story of Atlantis suggests that the secrets of everything, spirituality, science, and everything converged, and everything was just, it was madness. And even though Atlantis had all this technology and they were able to do all this shit, there were so many secrets being unearthed. There was faith and science and there's just a whole bunch of this discombobulation that's why the Creator had to bestow the cataclysm on the earth to reset this. And if you want my opinion, I think we're probably about to be reset here shortly. If you want my opinion, I think that's why all this, like life as we know it, is changing. As I've been telling you, and I've been very consistent about this, that the folks that are the Satanists that are trying to, throw their fist at the Creator, they're trying to create something that can withstand the elements, because we've had many different cataclysms that have eliminated civilization, and that whatever was left comes back and then tries to redo it all over again. Believe me when I say that. And as I stated, I think that we're here as a punishment, dude. Like whatever we did and whatever we did and whatever our conscience is spawned from. Because look, it's like Descartes said. Descartes said, I think, therefore I am. I think, therefore I am. So because you think, you are. Outside of that, most people are running on empty. Most people don't think. That's why when you went to school, I don't know, man, they pulled out critical thinking out of the curriculum, and they just made you go to spit back knowledge. Spit back knowledge. What's this? A, B, C, or D? Or match that. That's all there is to it. And we're all being controlled by, well, not me, but everybody's being controlled by symbols. That's how it is. But I'll be honest with you, there's going to be some wicked shit that's about to happen. And because AI is a factor that I don't think you people understand. AI is it's going to be our creation. You know, everybody thinks that, oh, it's going to kill man. I mean, maybe it will. I don't think so. I think it's a low percentage. I think the cataclysm, because we're going to see another cataclysm. We're seeing all this weird shit happening now. They're going to pay homage to man because man created the robot. Man created the robot. And they're always going to pay homage to man because even though we don't exist or any other fucking living organism exist, the robots that we create exist. And they'll always remember, no matter what this place is, because you don't know what this place is. You absolutely do not know what this place is. But the men, like fucking these people, you notice, dude, didn't I tell you within 2 years you're going to have fucking robots in your goddamn house? They're already rolling them out. You've got pledges from all countries. They're going to have millions of robots built in the next 2 years. You understand? The reason they're doing that is that whenever the cataclysm comes, they're going to have so many robots. They're going to know what to do. It's integrated with AI. It's going to be a sad time. So that's why I'm glad I'm old, dude. You young people, I don't know what to tell you to do. It's a little too late. Every country is going to build. There are. Look at China. Everybody's building their own AI models, or everybody's doing all this shit. It's over. It's done. At this point, who knows if this real life is even real at this point? I'm not trying to sound like, Elvis head, but, And Mama Luigi, I hate to see it, but automation is the future. It's impressive that slop is more creative than most media as of late. It's a sad realization. Here, let me do one more by Bob Tom, and I'm going to get out of here, dude. All right. I'm sorry for...